Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. This is Brian, and this week there wasn't a ton coming out in movies I wanted to see, so I figured I'd check out something on video on demand. And one of my favorite actors that's coming up right now had a movie coming out called The Ticket. So the actor I'm talking about is Dan Stevens. I mean, I thought he was fantastic in The Guest. I thought he was really good in Downton Abbey. I've liked him in pretty much everything that I've seen him in. I mean, he has kind of a limited catalog right now, but I was really excited to see this coming off of Beauty and the Beast and Legion. So basically how this movie goes is the main character, played by Dan Stevens, is blind during the beginning of the movie. And you see him regain his sight, and you see how this affects his life. Now, Dan Stevens does a really good job in this movie. His acting is way above everyone else in the film, and he really captures the emotions that he's feeling as his character is realizing the world around him. The main character in the film, after he regains his sight, starts chasing superficial things that he never cared about before when he was blind. And this has catastrophic repercussions for his whole life. Now, there's a huge... It's not even underlying. The huge thing about the whole movie is saying you should be happy with what you have, and there's consequences for basically you not being a good person and chasing, material things. The movie is only an hour and a half, but it feels really long. There's some really, the scenes, they drag on longer than they need to, and while his acting is good, it's I don't know if it's intentionally slow, but it's a really slow movie. The story itself is somewhat interesting, but then again, I feel like I've seen this in other movies where a character, I mean, it's usually more of a comedic thing, but a character is given a new lease on life and they realize that their old life wasn't as bad as they thought it was. I don't want to spoil the ending, but the ending is pretty depressing and it doesn't really feel like the movie pays off, but I mean, I guess it has like a more realistic ending than the happy, comedic romantic comedies that would use the same kind of plot. So overall, I would probably give this movie a 5.5 out of 10. It isn't terrible, but it's not something I would probably ever revisit. It feels incredibly long. It's a boring movie, but I mean, Dan Stevens is great in it. There's a scene where he breaks down in the film where he does a great job of conveying emotion. So alright guys, thanks for watching again, and remember to like and subscribe, and maybe you can put what's your favorite Dan Stevens movie. I know he doesn't have a ton, but I mean, some of them become these big classics, so let me know in the comments below.